If you can get a grant, you cannot buy EC. So I'd rather you cannot get grant.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Property in 20, brought to you by Ceekay Seoul District. And today's topic is going to be about executive condominiums. We're going to talk about the things about EC that no one told you. Now, of course, when it comes to executive condominiums, I think this is a very niche market. A lot of people have been buying ECs and making very good profits out of it. And sometimes people just wonder, hey, like this EC is kind of like very privileged to own an EC, right? It's not easy to get in. There's a lot of restrictions. There's a lot of regulations around it. So today we're going to dive deeper into this, right? In partly also because upcoming there's a new development called Altura, right? So I think this is a very timely time for us to discuss about this topic, because for those of you out there, if you are looking to get an EC for yourself soon, then this episode is definitely for you. And of course, I'm very happy that in our team, we have a very, I would say, experienced expert when it comes to EC, and he's none other than Isaac. So let's welcome Isaac. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, I'm Isaac. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. So happy to have you here. Yep. So straight up, maybe I can just go into the topic right away. Let's start off with what got you into this EC market to begin with. Like, when was the first time you ever did an EC?
Okay, I was doing new launch project back maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
In my first company.
Okay, 10 years.
So at the time, as a new agent, nobody taught me how to do project. And I believe my first EC is Heron Bay.
Heron Bay.
In Upper Serangoon, if I didn't recall wrongly.
Yes, Heron Bay.
Yeah, okay. So what happened is that we, as a small agency before, we are fighting with the big boys like Promnex and ERA at the time. And I think the agents that is in the company are very well versed in executive condo because they are previously from HSR.
Okay.
So I go and listen to them, how to present a little bit. Then I do my own marketing and manage to serve a few direct customers. And throughout the process, I find that they are genuinely aspired to upgrade.
Okay.
To own a condo of their own, to have the security, the facilities of no need to share a common pool, for example, and of course privacy. Mm-hmm. Because this is something I believe HDB is very hard to cater.
Yeah.
Then meaning that the EC buyers usually are more genuine and they have a sense of urgency because they know that if they don't upgrade, they will forever stay in HDB. That's why this kind of group of people is very in line with me, because I don't need to sell them too much. Mm-hmm. I just need to let them know what is the thing that they need to look out for.
Right.
Like if you want to buy a unit, don't buy the unit facing the rubbish chute or the barbecue pit, for example.
Right.
So these are the things that I will share with them. What are the things they need to look out for before they make a decision on what unit to purchase.
Right. So you actually already did like ECs all the way since Heron Bay until now, right?
All the way, yes.
Have you ever counted how many ECs have you
transacted
on? Yeah.
More than 100 already.
Okay, not units, developments.
Developments.
Maybe name a few .
Okay, Heron Bay, City Life, Twin Fountains, Bellwoods, Park Life, the recent one, then Provence, Brownstone Vision, a lot.
Okay, so pretty much almost everything already. Since
from that year onwards, almost everything.
That's crazy. I just heard you also say 100 over units.
Yeah.
Okay, then this one is definitely you're the right person for this.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this is very fun. I mean, for me, I started out with EC also. I think that was 2015. My first project was Brownstone. Yeah, so of course, compared to you, I pale in comparison now, compared, in terms of the experience. So that's why, this is very important, because I just want to ask you, based on what you have encountered, right? We talk about today, just today's market.
Sure.
What are some of the common issues faced by EC buyers? I think the biggest hurdle to them in terms of owning a unit.
I believe liking a location is not difficult, because ultimately they know the holding period is about 5 years. If they want to exit, they can exit. Of course, with a high profit, as you mentioned earlier. But I believe now the main hurdle will be loan due to MSR. Okay. Because whatever income they have a threshold of 16K. And the loan they can get is only capped at 30% of 16K. So I believe, and you also know that EC has been selling at about 1.2, 1.4 million for a typical 3-bedder. Because EC are family, they need minimum of 3 bedrooms. So getting 1.4 million property in Singapore and the loan is kept at MSR, it's very hard to get a 75% loan compared to buying a private condo in comparison. Yeah.
This is something that I noticed because like back in the days, someone with a combined income of 9 to 10,000 can own an EC really.
Can.
But today it's kind of like moving upwards and it's going to be like, 14,000 or so. 13 to 14 I think is the optimal range.
That is only able to buy 3-bedder only.
Exactly. Okay, this one, my coughing part will be cut out. Okay. So maybe because I have this question, I wanted to answer this later on, but let me bring this forth since we are talking about this now.
Sure.
Right. So do you think that ECs are leaning too much towards the higher income earners now? Because if I look at it, right, like, I mean, when I first started out marketing ECs, I remember the income ceiling was only 12,000.
Yep.
Yeah. Then it became 14 and then now 16.
Yes.
Right. So if this goes on, one fine day it will become 20, 22 and so on.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, it's like so far this seems to be the trend.
Okay.
Right? So because of MSR, so what is your take on this? It's like, do you think that it is right or appropriate, for a better word?
Well, this is a very controversial topic.
But I think the people need to hear this, right? Because I think this concerns affordability. I think it's a very fair question to ask.
Maybe I can touch on the CPF grant first.
Okay, sure.
Because CPF grant is capped at 30K, but your income must be below 10K in order to get the full grant.
Okay.
Whatever new ruling, it is still 30K. But then, like you said already, your income need to be at least a 14 in order to afford a typical 3-bedroom EC today. So meaning to say the grant is almost obsolete already.
Exactly.
Yeah. In our agent talks, right, we always talk about like, if you can get a grant, you cannot buy EC. So I'd rather you cannot get grant.
I think that is very true though. Yeah. Because like, I also calculated if today you want to buy an EC and your income is 10,000, let's say even if you get a 30K grant, but the cash upfront you need is easily like more than 600. I think more than 600,000 actually.
Around there. Oh,
yeah, 600,000 is about there. So if you have cash and CPF 600,000 to put down, what is 30K honestly? Yeah, that's why like you're correct. It's like the grant is rewarding you for being rich enough to buy.
Correct. 6 years ago, the grant is still visible because the price is below 1 million for a typical 3-bedroom EC. But nowadays, of course, there's still one EC that's selling about 1.2-ish. But I believe Altura will be looking at 1,003 and up.
Yep.
And further down the road, you can see the land parcel, when the land bid is higher, the per square feet cannot go lower.
So with that being said, right, do you think that like now raising the income ceiling is the way to go, or do you think there are other solutions?
Raising the income ceiling, even if it raised to 18K or even like just now your example 20K, the MSR doesn't affect a lot because their loan will still be short by quite a bit, especially the price is increasing higher than what they can borrow. Okay. So I believe because MSR is 30%, TDSR is 55%. So I think by tweaking a little bit on the MSR, maybe to 35%, I think it will let a lot of EC buyers be eligible to borrow higher. And thus they can buy a bigger unit than one. Because usually people stay in a 4-room flat. They want to upgrade. They may need a 4-bedroom. But to reach a 4-bedroom EC, new one today, is easily about 1.6 to 1.7 million. Cannot. Your maximum borrowing loan is only 1 million.
Right.
Yeah. So, and in fact, a lot EC buyer, they are all Singaporeans. So that means Singaporeans are rich. That means they have a lot of reserve funds, either cash or CPF in their account.
Right. So this is something that I brought up before in one of my earlier YouTube videos as well about this MSR. So how I look at it is that we do have margin, like you said, TDSR is 55%. So if you buy a private, you can loan way more than EC and HDB. Correct. For sure. Right. But the funny part is that MSR for the longest time, it is pegged at the same rate be it for HDB or ECs. But clearly EC is a higher price range.
It's double of BTOs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think more than double already.
Yeah, more than double.
Yeah. So with that being said, I think this is the paradox because it just seems like this is kind of like a reward system whereby the richer you are, the more access you get to these kind of properties. Which makes me just wonder, like, actually, who are the real target audience for this EC market?
You see, because initially we thought that because the pricing is getting higher and higher, the loan is getting lower and lower, there will be lesser people buying because of loan issues, especially the 5-beders. 2.1, 2.2 million, meaning that you need to dish out about 1.2 million in cash or CPF if you want to buy one unit. But of course, one EC excluded. Copen Grand and Tenet is last year 2 EC that is almost sold out. Copen Grand is fully sold. And even the 3 to 4 stacks of 5-bedder, if I'm not recall, selling about 2.1 to 2.2 million is still taken. And because I was one of the IC there, I checked one of the salary. They are not high income earners. They are cash rich. So this is something that is very weird going. Like, we thought that the government will do something to MSR to ease the loan, for let them borrow higher to buy. But in the end, Copen Grand and Tenet result reflect otherwise. They can still buy. Even though loan not enough, but can still buy.
That's why I think this is a very big, I would say it's a moral issue. To me, it's a moral issue. Okay. Because back in the day when I first started out marketing EC, I always believed that the purpose of an EC is meant for people who cannot afford a private condo.
Yep.
But now I look at it, it's like, hey, all these actually can go and buy private condo one. So it become like a discounted condo for them that they can happily just grab at the expense of others who don't have their income to support.
Especially second timers.
Yeah. So this is one of the problem, right? So now I feel that, like, hopefully, of course, the government can look into this. Hopefully, HDB, CPF board, whoever it needs to hear this, right? Please do something about this. Okay, so let's move on. All right. So now, since we also mentioned about EC getting more and more expensive, right? Mm-hmm. So some people do question about the profit margin, because I think just recently, a few days ago, there's a news article that came out talking about EC profits. It's a very interesting article. I don't know why every time it's so timely.
Before launch, always like that.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, I think some people do question that, true or not? Like now, with this kind of pricing, we're seeing 1,003, 1,004 PSF. Mm-hmm. Last time, I mean, don't say super long ago, obviously. Last time, my father bought EC at $300 per square foot. North Oaks. But now I look at it as like, okay, maybe just let's say 2016, right? 7 years ago, it was like $700 per square foot.
Double, okay.
Yeah. So in 7 years, the pricing doubled. So what's your take on this? Is it going to be harder for people to still generate profits with VC?
Okay, I believe right now, if you enter at about 1,003, 1,004, to double to 2,008 is a little bit not visible. But if you want to increase the same PSF like the older condos, I think location matters. Okay, maybe we could just talk about why Copen Grand is fully sold. Okay, one of the reasons is because there's about 6 years there's no EC in the west. Majority is in the north, northeast. Okay, and the people are desperate enough to own and upgrade already. That's why Copen Grand, the overwhelming response, and partly because it's CDR as well. Okay, but and it's fully sold. People snatch. Okay, but one common objection for Copen Grand, because it's in Tengah New Town, is because there's no primary school. Everybody
but now,
okay, the now later. Then fast forward to Altura, when we got the project, we are thinking how to sell because there's no MRT. It's not near, and the nearest primary school, of course, is opposite, but it's not a famous school. Then suddenly the ACS news came up. And it's right in between Altura and Copen Grand. We are both within 1 kilometer. So it's a very famous school and happened to be a mixed school now. So I believe the intake of Altura and the following EC that's beside Altura will be very strong, because the spillover effect from Copen Grand, those who cannot get, they were all eye on Altura. Because firstly, it's because it's in the west. Mm-hmm. Because buying a west new launch condo today, cheapest still 2,000 per square feet.
True.
Even Altura launched at 1,004 or 1,005 even. It's not expensive. We compare the end product to end product. Right now you buy as an EC, at the end of the day, you're still a private condo. You buy a condo now, in the end, it's still a private condo. So both product at the end day is still the same. But the entry price is different. I think the location also different. Mm-hmm. Sometimes MRT can be one of the biggest concern or biggest deal breaker, but we have to look beyond MRT. what else do you get other than MRT?
Actually, that's very true. Because when I look at resale ECs, right? I mean, back in the days, majority of them were not close to MRT. I mean, only a rare few, maybe Brownstone, Visionaire, right? But majority is, even like you mentioned here in Bay, wow, that is super far off, but yet people still make so much profit simply because of this thing, which is the price margin, like you mentioned, between the ECs and the private condos.
Right.
The price margin really helps a lot. So now I look at it is that even though yes, now it's 1,003, 1,004, I do agree with you that we could still see some profits. But I think it's just more of that people just wonder that, okay, one fine day, will new ECs also go towards higher than 1,005, 1,008?
It's slowly climbing. Yes.
It will slowly climb, right?
Yeah. Because of land cost.
So then that begs the question is that since majority of the target audience are HDB upgraders, as we know with upgraders, there is one big issue, which is the second timer quota.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, right, are there a lot of second timers who are struggling to manage, to get a unit?
In Copenhagen example, there is about, if I don't recall wrongly, it's about 70% second timers. So it is like a totally opposite of what they can get. Because by right, the quota for balloting, right, second timer only allocated 30% of the unit at launch.
Yep, then now wait 1 month after, then they can
that's why the second time, 1 month later, the second timer finish off all the units. Okay, I believe Altura will be the same. And of course, second timer, you will have lesser units to choose now because there's only 360 units in total. And at max, you can only buy 100 units for second timer on the first day. Later, we shall see. 12 more days only. We will know the application already. I believe it will be definitely overwhelming because I believe there's already a hype on the western side, new launches recently. There's a lot of launches in the west. And when they see the per square feet is 2,000 starting, and they see our per square feet is 1,004, even 1,005, I think, it's like a breath of fresh air. I like jackpot like that. Really, really, because sometimes they thought that the entry price is already 2K. Then suddenly there's a super discount. Just say, are you eligible to buy or not? Then for second timer is, can you get a unit or not? Not whether you want to buy or not already. So I think EC, it's not that we agent very arrogant now. We can say that it's not whether you want to buy or not. It's whether you can get a unit or not.
But I think that's always true.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, 100 pumps sold out in 7 hours.
Yes, crazy. 500 plus units.
Yeah, that was amazing. And the fact that there was a 30% second timer quota, you still sold out on the day itself means that majority were first timers.
70% first timer.
Yeah, so that made me realize that, whoa, when something is out there and people find that, hey, this is a value buy, they're going to go in crazy. And I recall that, even for 100 pumps, when they first launched, it was around 800 to 900 per square foot.
And at the time, I believe the developer got sound that they regretted posting too low. They sell too low already.
Yeah, but they managed to make a big bang because prior to TOP, right, they got bounce out unit. Yeah, I mean bounce out unit. Okay, let's talk about this bounce out unit, right? Like I think some will be divorce cases or some maybe they didn't get married in the end, right? So are these very common?
There will be, but I cannot say very common as in there will be 100 unit bounce out at the end of the day. But there will be genuine cases like you said, fiancé in the end doesn't get married. Okay, or the couple got divorced, or somehow or other the payment doesn't get through, or they don't want to follow through. So there will be a bounce out unit in the end.
Right.
And usually the bounce out unit will be the market leader of your development.
And usually I think the developer will actually mark up the price also.
Based on today's market price.
Exactly. I mentioned, there's 900 pumps, I recall. When they launched was 900. Bounce out was 1,002.
And it's still cheap.
Still cheap at the point of time. People think that, of course.
Yeah.
But it's just that I'm like, wow, this developer straight up just shoot up $300 per square foot. Yeah, so I think that's very, very crazy. That is a interesting part, of course, hoping that for all the buyers, if you can hold on to your unit, then good news, this bounce out unit will eventually help you to make money in the future because they would already set that precedent of your profit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think this is something that a lot of people don't really think about when they buy EC. They just think that okay, like I'm buying at this price and whatever. But all these are things that happen later on, like the bounce out unit, all this, and of course future rising land costs and so on. These are aspects that would contribute to the profitability of this EC. That is what a lot of people they don't think about enough. But now that we discuss it, I just realized that this is beautiful, man. Imagine like I haven't MOP, but I already know somebody bought a bounce out unit from developer at $300 more than me last time.
Your profit is almost guaranteed, at least for the unit. You just need to calculate the difference.
Yeah. In fact, for myself, we handled before like some of the upgraded from EC. That means they profited from EC. And then they upgraded from there, like to private condos.
Correct.
Yeah, so I also feel that this is a beautiful stepping stone. So far, based on my experience, those who bought a 3-bed MOP, EC that when they sold during MOP, their average cash proceeds, including their CPF and so on that comes back to them, is at least about 600,000 or more.
It is very normal.
Yeah, it's very normal because you add in your down payment plus your profits, everything. When you sell, you get back 600,000 to 700,000. It's very comfortable for them to then move on from there to another property.
They can even buy 2 already.
Yeah, it's either they go for a bigger unit or they can just buy a freehold, decent sized unit that they can just stay for much longer. Yeah, so I feel that this really beautiful whereby like this EC market is there for us. The only big question again is just more of like, hey, it is going to be more exclusive for the higher income. So once again, this one to the government, this is on you. But if not, then we're just going to see this like going to become the rich people's game lah.
Talking about the high income, I think even the lower income, if they want to try and buy, right, I think they will be a bit stretched if they are going for the installment in the future. So higher income, definitely yes, because of the purchase price. They have to borrow higher, then their income need to be higher. But talking about affordability and managing the loan in the future, right? I think income as high as they can, it will be very helpful.
But with that being said, this is where I'm going to dispute you a little bit. Okay. If they can buy, let's say for example today at 12,000 income, I cannot buy an EC.
Yep.
Right, because pretty much nothing to buy at the kind of MSR range, unless the 800 plus square feet kind of unit.
Don't have already. Okay.
Yeah, not many now lah. Last time that used to be to cater to this group ma.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's assume that today 12,000 is going to be very stretched for me to buy an EC, but because of TDSR, I can go and buy a private.
Correct.
So if I can buy a private, why I cannot buy an EC?
And that's the question you need to ask HDB.
You need to ask MAS this one because MAS sets the loan framework. Yeah, so I think this is a very ironic part. I always struggle to answer this question. 12,000 can buy condo, cannot buy EC.
Yeah.
What kind of logic is this? Okay, so I don't know if this, what do you think? Is this something that is kind of like the government's way of saying that 你买不到, you can't buy, never mind, or you go to private law, so that it also provides the ecosystem, right, for private condos?
In a way you can say that, but to me, I think 6 years ago, when the ABST is about 5%, right? 5 to 7%. Then for second timers, if they want to keep their HDB, and if they want to upgrade to a condo, they don't want to buy EC. They can. I just pay 7% more. I don't want to claw back lah. Okay, I just use one name to buy, I pay the ABST. And the per square feet at the time, because I bought my EC in 2017 as well. So at the time in the north, Brownstone is the market leader, about 900 per square feet. At the time, they have this condo called Symphony Suites. The advertisement is you buy EC price, you can buy condo. Okay, so the per square feet is about 1,000 to 1,001.
Yep.
So the differences between condo and EC prices is about 200 to 300 per square feet differences. So if I want to top up, I can buy condo. I have no restriction. I can borrow more. I just need to hold a lesser year.
Yep.
Okay, so these are the perks. But fast forward to today, we all know that ABSD have been reaching 20% for second-time buyers.
Yep.
Okay, so if I want to dish out 20% to pay for another properties, it's not very logical lah. And second thing is, the price comparing EC entry per square feet to East condo entry per square feet is minimum $600. It's about 600K lah if you're buying a 1,000 square feet unit. Top up, I think, is a bit too much for second time buyer. If I want to hold my HDB, I don't buy EC. I go and buy condo and pay the ABSD at a higher price. So go back to the ecosystem thing, why I can buy condo and I cannot buy EC. This one, I think a lot of agents also, I believe the buyer also asked their agents why. I can buy condo but I cannot buy EC. But this is how I believe the government is trying to restrict overborrowing, especially for subsidized houses. That's why the MSR haven't been tweaked for so many years.
Yep.
And the phenomenon is, even if I give you so much restriction, my EC is still fully sold.
So to them, is that why fix the wheel?
Why do I need to fix the system when it's not broken?
Okay.
I was very puzzled because at the time we thought that Common Grant would not sell so well because of the MSR. The price is high. Then Tenet up another game and he still sell like hotcakes, left only about 4 units of 5 beta. Then begs the question, why EC can let those buyers to buy this price, especially the 5 betas? I believe one of the reasons is DPS, deferred payment.
But it is, to me, it's a no-brainer lah, straightforward lah. Because today, hey, if I can buy this at 1,003, 1,004, what else can I buy? Very old resale lor, more than 10 years old resale lor. Yeah. So to me, it's like I get a brand new one. If I have a place to stay for the next 3 years, I can wait for it to TOP, then why not? Just go in, just chunk already.
And you don't need to sell your HDB to buy. Because EC, there's no ABSD.
Yeah, but of course you must sell your HDB later lah. But that is later. You are not forced to sell now.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think this is the beauty of it all. And I think this is where, like, for those who are interested in Altura, I think today's episode really answered a lot of, their doubts so that they can really gain more full clarity. So before we end off today's episode, maybe you can just share a little bit, like, airtime on Altura. Okay, so maybe give us a quick, like, 3 reasons why people should buy Altura. Just 3.
Just 3.
Yes, the main selling point of this project.
I think the main selling point we already said earlier, the ACS that is within 1 kilometer. So I don't touch on that. That's not one of the 3. So I never prepared. But okay, just back of mind. Firstly, your address is Bukit Batok. It's in the west. Because following us will be the one beside us by another developer. But you only can buy in next year, January. So because of the 15 months wait. So Altura address, I will not say it's very prime because it's not very near MRT. But you're within the very new, the BTO cluster. And you're also within the very old HDB estate where you get all the amenities, the hawker center and the coffee shop.
Right. So best of both worlds.
Correct. And for schools, you have a lot of international schools, not only ACS. Like we have Dulwich and we have Millennia. And primary school around are not hard to find. And we are just about 1 traffic junction to the new town, which is Tengah, where you get all the new amenities, maybe the new shopping mall over there as well. So I believe one of the main points is that we are in the newer area, although our address is the old address, which is Bukit Batok. Okay, we are not like the core old Bukit Batok estate, but we are the western side. Okay, that's number 1. Second thing is, remember I talked about there's a cluster of BTOs, including Tengah. And meaning that next time, the biggest unit they can buy in BTO is 5-room flat, 3 bedrooms. If they want to upgrade. Altura is one of the newer condo among the bunch already. Right. So there's a lot of pool of aspired condo owners. They want to upgrade and they don't want to buy. Maybe that time EC is 1,008 already. We don't know. Then they may consider Altura as a second alternative. As a resale. I can directly move in. Because I have a BTO already. If I buy a new, I need to pay ABSD, so I have to buy resale. So there are buyers like that. I need to immediately move into transit. So the selling point will be the new township will add a lot of viability of your condo in the future.
Kind of a bit like back then when Punggol was starting out. That's why they put a lot of ECs in Punggol.
And condo mixed together, a lot. And right now, there's no EC in the northeast side. That's why all the resale EC is making 6 figures. There's a strong demand there.
Yeah, it's very strong. I think like the Vales is like, whoa, super profitable.
Okay. Then my third one. Third one is usually my forte. I like to sell the future. Of course, the Jurong Lake District, the GID, we don't talk already. We talk about future land parcel. That is after Altura. Okay? Because recently there is one tendered at Plantation Close, which is within Tengah, very near Yuhua area. So my take for that site is because it's very near JLD. So the demand will be very strong because you can literally walk to Chinese Garden if you want to. But no EC site is perfect. Some of the EC site is facing expressway. Some is facing MRT track. Some is facing place of worship. So there's something that I don't know whether your agent could tell you or not. But okay, because because it's for own stay. For my side, I need to tell you everything. At least you don't collect your key, then you tell me, hey, why is there a temple in front of me? You never tell me. Okay, so the Plantation Close is beside a place of worship and it's literally beside an MRT track. Okay, Altura don't have. Yes, we are not near MRT, but we're also not near MRT track. Okay,
That's a good point.
Because if the customer asks me this, I will tell them you want to stay beside MRT track, no? Like Copen Grand. Or you wait for the Plantation one. No? Then if you really cannot tahan, you are very noise sensitive, then staying a little bit further, I think it's a plus. It's not.
Actually, it's true. There are some people who say that I don't want to stay so near MRT. I don't need to be next to it. As long as it's within maybe 10 minutes I can get there.
Yeah, it's fine.
By public transport or whatever, so be it.
Yeah.
I rather stay further away from the noise.
Yeah.
Right, so very good, wonderful. Right? I love your 3 pointers. So that is where, for people who wants to find out more about Altura, of course, I believe they can reach out to you. Okay, so your Instagram handle is PlanWithIsaac, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so look for Isaac, right?
Okay.
Plan with Isaac. Then you can reach out to him and find out more about Altura.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you for being on the show. Right, so of course, for all of you here, of course, this is a beautiful episode whereby, again, we really went deep. We discussed so many things. So we realized that for the EC market, of course, it's not perfect, right? And there are many different regulations, many different restrictions. So today, what we didn't talk about is the eligibility. Of course, it's a very long list. I think if we talk about that, I think this episode will be longer than 1 hour. So, but do find out your eligibility, whether you can own an EC or not, because there are so many different, I would say, restrictions, be it your family nucleus, income ceiling, right? So there's so many things you must find out before you can buy. So do approach any of our professionals like Isaac, and then find out how you can own an EC, right, to make good use of the upcoming opportunities, be it at Altura or the future plots coming up next year. Okay, so with that being said, this will be the end of today's episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to see you guys in the next episode of Property in 20, brought to you by Ceekay District. See you.